Happy Friday, Tigers. My name is Keller Matthews with your campus weather forecast for today. And your big weather story for your Friday is going to be some severe weather chances for later on this evening and into the overnight hours. And we're already starting to see some of that severe weather begin to fire off to our north and to our west. Now, those systems aren't going to be really affecting the Columbia region. However, if you step outside this morning, you might catch some stray raindrops from some of those more southerly systems as they start to make their way into the area. We're certainly experiencing some of that cloud cover from those storms as they start to make their way through. Now, as for your temperatures for this morning, 66 degrees here in Columbia, so really quite comfortable as you step outside, but you might be experiencing some of that humidity as a lot of that moisture starts to make its way into the region. So again, 66 degrees, your current temperatures, winds from the south at 14 miles an hour. That's going to help to warm us up as we move later into the afternoon. 75 degrees by 2 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to max out today right around 78 degrees. And again, those winds holding strong from the south at 18 miles an hour. So a lot of those warm temperatures and that moisture is what's contributing to our severe weather risk for later on this afternoon and into this evening. So again, right here in Columbia, we do fall under that severe weather risk, a slight risk. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't get thunderstorms. It just means that our chances aren't quite as high as potentially off to our west in Kansas City. However, again, like I said, we do still have that severe weather threat. Currently, I'd say the biggest threat with those severe thunderstorms is going to be those damaging winds. They're going to be moving through at a pretty rapid pace, so winds could be over 60 miles an hour as they start to make their way through the region. Can't rule out a stray tornado or maybe some large hail as those systems move through, but again, I think that threat is probably a little bit lower than that wind threat. I think our lowest threat is probably going to be those floods because we don't have any prolonged systems bringing a ton of rainfall into the region. But again, can't rule out anything with severe weather, of course. So something to keep an eye on as we move later into the overnight hours. So we can see that system start to make its way through into the overnight as we take a closer look here at Columbia. Right around 1 a.m. this morning, I think, is when we're going to get that first band of rain. Again, not really impacting us until the overnight hours. There is a second band, as you can see, following up behind that. That's not the one I'm most concerned about. I'm more concerned about that first band that's going to be coming in right around midnight to 1 a.m. That's going to bring our most significant severe weather threat. Now, that's going to make its way out of the region pretty early on tomorrow morning, and then we got nothing but clear skies for your Sunday, so we're going to have lots of sunshine in the wake of that weather. That's going to be a trend as we move into next week, with the exception of maybe a chance of some thunderstorms on Tuesday or Wednesday, but we'll get to that in just a moment. So your overnight low, 55 degrees, some isolated showers and thunderstorms. So again, if you're going to be out tonight, I know a lot of you will be, especially with the True False Festival, so just something to keep in mind. Make sure you've got a radar app and a weather app on your phone so you can be aware when those first raindrops do start to fall this overnight hour. But again, I'd say earlier in the night, around 7 or 8, you should be okay. But again, just keep an eye on the sky so you're not caught off guard when that storm does start to roll in. Now, as for your 7-day forecast, looking a little bit cooler tomorrow, 51 degrees. Those temperatures will start to increase as we see those clear skies on Sunday. Moving into daylight savings, we got some beautiful weather in store for your Monday, 80 degrees. There's that severe weather threat on Tuesday. And as the skies begin to clear later on this week, we'll see temperatures continue to fluctuate.